Well, you guys gonna let me know how the audio is? 'Cause I can't quite get this camera set up the way I want it. Hope you all been well. Can't really see or I have these really interesting sunglasses on that do like they polarize the screen. What's up, Sunsoak? How am I doing in this strange world? As strange as you think I am. Hold on, man. Sorry for the camera difficulties, everyone. Oh, yeah, there's me. Today we will talk about uh, C. What is it? CBDC, central bank digital currency, and cashless society, and timing of things. Uh, Perhaps we'll get into midterm elections, dating of stuff, some gematria, perhaps. Um, Maybe we'll get into the dating of things, meaning like there's we've noticed. I'm pretty sure everyone here has noticed all of the weirdos that have been telling you things for years, especially the weirdos that are good at gematria. They're never very far off of their dates, and there's a bunch of dates that are in between the end of this month and December, and then that'll make some connections to what you'd call the Project Bluebeam and the Plasma Apocalypse. Can everybody hear me? Let me just double check over here. Can you see me? I think you'd see me. Not that you need to see me. Ah, man, that sucks. I mean, it tastes like burnt coffee. Sorry to hear, dude. Well, interestingly, how would you get rid of a stomach bug? Burnt coffee? Seriously. I mean, not burnt coffee, but light roasted, honestly, because all of that caffeine and the chemicals in there. Use some wormwood and things like that. Really earthy stuff. Most of those will have pumpkin seeds. You got some sort of. I mean, if you just got the shits versus you got the shits for a reason. I like this new little bench. There's so many squirrels flying like right here. What's up, Serene? Yeah, you can hear me good, good, good. Okay. I guess I'll wait a few more seconds before I'd say anything of value. I don't know, just because I felt like breathing a little bit. Remember, you shouldn't be breathing in your chest like I just did. Breathe in the diaphragm down here. Breathe out first. Oh, there we go. Okay, let me see who's in here. Any missed anybody else? Okay, where to start? But I want to talk about this idea that people have that how to fight back the system, and I'll talk about Walmart, what something they're doing that I just heard about today, which only proves what the timing of things. Um, and the attempt to turn this into social credit scores, just like that other country, China, is doing. Um, where to start this one? So many ways to go. Uh, let me start with the, everybody knows what central banking is. You guys know what digital currency is, and the attempt to put everything digital for a bunch of different reasons. And people say, well, no, just use cash. Well, and I also want to get into mortgages and people that think that they live on like in a house that somehow they'll avoid. Like they can avoid the system all they want, right? But there's also the part that's weaving in here that you're going to watch happen again, which is this new strain of the word you can't say, which is supposedly happening pretty soon. They'll have that popping off. and then they're gonna try their another round of things to put inside of you. Okay, if you use cash, that's great. It's a great start. Okay, don't go to Walmart's because they're making everything. This guy in the middle of I forget where it was, but he goes inside and he's got cash in his pocket and gets all his groceries. And he goes to the first register and they say, "Oh, we're not taking cash at this register today." Goes to the next register, goes through the entire store, and they're not taking cash. And and it was a test run because I know you've gone there and just seen, oh, this one's out of order, is not taking cash today. I know you've all seen this. And then there were some comments beneath that said, I know some people that work there and the higher ups, and they say what they said is it was all just a test to see how much they could get people to, um, how much they'd lose in people spending power there, how much they'd lose in people shopping there, and their goal is to go so far as to say that you won't even be able to shop at Walmart without using their app or their credit card. Crazy, right? Well, okay, that's fine and dandy. Some people say, okay, use cash at your mom and pop shop. That's great too. Okay, I get it, but it's going to cost you, 5 times as much, which becomes a problem considering, and we'll start here. There's what's called inflation happening, and inflation is going to happen on all aspects, digital and currency and cash. So just by the fact of you using cash, it's not going to you're not it's going to be inescapable, unavoidable. That is inflation, interest rates rise because but that's both happening, right? I don't know what they're doing, and they haven't really changed income tax. Remember the three I's. This is it's artificial and it's induced by the economic systems. It's also a slight it's a sleight of hand at thievery, but then again, most of it is. Now, as that occurs, people are like, okay, if you keep using cash, okay, keep using cash, but the dollar value is going to keep going down. How are you going to get more cash? How are you going to obtain this? How are these places going to continue to maintain? What's up, bro? He's going to be loud now. How are these? How are you going to get the extra cash you need? And for these people that are paying mortgages and interest rates and all of this, how are they going to? You think you're gonna outrun the system in the long run with the idea that you have a? Let me just make sure. Okay, you think you're gonna outrun the system in the long run because you think you own a piece of property. You think you own your house, unless you have, I believe, what is called allodial title, which is most people don't know about, and you don't outright own the land. It's not yours. That property isn't even yours. How are you going to pay the taxes? As inflation goes up, as you're not making money and taxes go up, how are you going to pay the taxes for the property that you think you own, that you don't own, that you're leasing from whoever owns the property, the lord of the land? So even in the long run, it doesn't you don't you don't you don't get out of the system, right? Unless, okay, so what do? You take the poison, you take that stuff because it's good for you, and that way, um, I mean, I can't tell you all of it on here. I'll save that for another show, I guess. Maybe I'll get a. Oh, also, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Y'all know I need it very much right now because I have obtained a place. I'd rather not sleep outside, so I got that hookup, but I got to make more money off of this. See, even like on my last place, rent went up, and now it's it's like it's a whole thing, man. So, anyways, yeah, you see it's a description. It's a bar at the bottom there. TSAR capital XEN. I appreciate it. You know that. Um, so as things go digital, because it's not happening. There's already way too many people happy as a clam to do it. You know how many people I heard, that some were falsely forced into getting the thing they wouldn't have, but then they did to maintain their job, right? Knowing a lot of those people, they're like, I can't afford not to have a job paying this much money. Where are you going to get hired now? Where it's difficult. Even a lot of places still enforcing the mask thingy, which a lot of places it went away. A lot of people are still wearing it. I don't. Okay, and now you're going to watch, as we told you. What month is it? It's October. Now it's what? Most places, this is flu season. So people are gonna they're gonna get a cold. They're gonna come down with that, and they're gonna once again associate it with something else. And so then they're gonna go. Then because of that, it's going to appear to everyone as so the media just forces that further. That storyline, causing what to happen? All the while they're taking away your capacity to use cash at places, and perhaps there'll be a um, perhaps they will be knocking out the some of the power grids or internet access for a while, which means even then your 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 card system won't even work, only enforcing and furthering another idea. So if they do that, then people go into super chaotic mode. You've seen these states that uh, there's places, countries, and states that they enforce like people not they won't give loans out. Banks won't give loans out to people to buy gas cars. Australia, as a totality, won't give out a loan to buy a gas powered car. I mean, what else to cover here? There's so many different angles to it that people I don't see how people don't get it. How people don't understand the different type, like how the system will be it'll be altered to the point, because I've already watched it happen. And so sometimes I've gone into stores and they're like, oh, we're not accepting cash. I'm like, what? I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, you were just yesterday you were. What are you doing here? Like, it's the split of society will be turn into basically the ultra poor, gutter punks, street dwellers, and societies that will have to learn how to barter. There'll be no everything will have an intrinsic value. So in that way, it's good. But the obtaining like a domicile or whatever, how's that going to happen? If everyone goes to that, everything's going to be digitalized. What's going to be the trade system? Either you trade digitally or you don't, or you trade physical objects, because cash isn't going to matter. What do you think that there's just going to be like I have $20 a day. I give it to that guy over there. Now I don't. Where's my next $10 coming from? And how is it going to even maintain its value? People don't understand economics in the least bit if they think they're gonna save the whole thing, save the world from them applying the system. The only way the system gets eradicated, and this is what I think. This is the alien invasion and everything that's going on. I think, and I'm hoping. I do hope sometimes. Imagine that. And I'm thinking, and I'm feeling like the plasma apocalypse and everything that's part of that. They're using. They're using a fake alien invasion and what you'd call Project Bluebeam to stage an event where they're actually going to just dip because the sky is going to open up and things about to happen, and they're just gonna leave. They're just gonna dip. I mean, it's either that or they're gonna go into their underground bunkers or whatever, because that's the only place. That's what have they always done? Look at any movie, any story about the apocalypse in any way. Where do you see people living? Underground. Where do you think they are? What's up, Jason Nash? What Divine Hazel? I believe it's called Allodial. Allodial. Pretty sure that's what it's called. There could be a different name. I don't know if it's state by state or if that's just on automobiles, but I believe it's to do with property as well. But even going through that is it's a whole process of paperwork, and even at that point, then you'd have to go through like, is your mortgage paid? Is the house paid for? You know what I mean? Because then you got all that going on. So there's like a whole thing there about how to obtain the land. And even at that, like once it's yours, like then what do you got to do? You better be able to defend against all of the quote unquote zombies, quote zombies unquote. Um, yep, Jason. That yeah, sure. Yeah, humans' main purpose is to supply energy via energy prostitution to those in power. Where do I get my energy supply? Uh, top helping people. Oddly, it's the opposite. You know, the more you give, your hand open, the more you receive. And myself, meaning piss. Sorry if I'm not on camera well here, but it's the I don't want to turn my battery up too much because I don't have that much. Yeah, Sun took the bio warfare and just ease. Well, I mean, if you, I don't want to get into all that now because then I got to explain actual biology and what. Oh, Jason, I'll get into that in a little bit too. That's Project Bluebeam. So if you understand, the idea is to they know certain events will happen. If you had ahead of time knowledge of certain events occurring, then you would take complete advantage of them. So they're like, okay, the time all the major religions have spoke about. There's always a time of these great cycles. It's hard to pin down because we don't know exactly what year it is. We don't exactly know what time it is, but you can tell symbolically through things that are occurring. And some of this gematria has worked out so well for people in the past that I've seen, where you can, some people did it backwards, mapping the gematria and just showing like, oh yeah, okay, that's how it works. Then they were able to extrapolate and show you forwards what will happen. You know, people got good enough to, maybe within these kind of this month or this season or these type of days, and they got more clever with it, and they figured there people were like putting dates down. It's kind of like The Simpsons, right? They're often right about their little. If you pay attention, their predictions. They're not predictions when they're doing it, right? So these events that are occurring, these symbolic gestures of the universe, if you know they're going to happen, and you're in charge, but you know there's some apocalyptic event which you've been waiting for because you don't want to be on this realm anymore. You want to go. And this is why they make spaceships and all this stuff. Once the thing in the sky opens up, what they'll be doing is taking off and flying out there, and we'll look at it as, oh, that's an alien. There's an alien attack, and they're fighting aliens. When in fact they're leaving. That's one observation. And Project Bluebeam, the idea is it's called the blue red shift. Look that up. And it's just the color of the sky will change. The every movie go listen to Jay Dreamers breaks it down the best. And in fact, he just put out a video yesterday. It's like 12 hours long, but it's his compilation of all of his plasma apocalypse work he's done since I think 2018. And if you just listen to the first 15 minutes of it, the last one he did, um, it's a really good snippet of what occurs. Uh, yeah, I mean, you got the dumbs, you got the underground cities already there, and I think that the thing with the underground cities is they want something nicer. They're like, if I'm going to live underground, then I might as well make it nice. Why would I live in it? Why would I live in a cave? That's their thought process. And maybe they're not welcome in those caves. You know what I'm saying? Do they want to be did those people want to be underground in caves with other people that are like, we're lower class and we're like, hey, what are you doing here? I thought you were one of the politicians that was robbing and stealing from us. He wouldn't last too long, would he? He would have to build himself a underground, uh, home because money to them is nothing. But if they only got wind of the coming end of days. Oh, you're worried about the water right now, Suntoke? Sorry, I haven't hit any of your comments. Sorry, I totally forgot about that part. Haven't done this in a few days. So you're worried about the water. Okay, so the Mississippi in parts. Oddly enough, the other day, maybe about 2 weeks back, I was sitting out on the Mississippi. I live in New Orleans. I'm sitting out there, and I'm like, the water level is super low right now. It makes no sense. Yeah, it was right after the hurricanes. The water level changes, but now it stayed that way. And then you got Lake Mead. Then you got these other lakes that are almost dried up. And right now, go look this up. There's we already talked about. Here's another dilemma, and here's proof of what I'm saying here. Whether or not this was man-made or not, the drying up of the rivers is irrelevant, or lakes, Lake Mead and Mississippi and all these places. Right now, the Mississippi is so low in parts that barges that are moving your material and goods upstream aren't going to get there because they had to stop and dig out. And some they were taking hours and hours and hours to dig out, and then they moved forward and had to stop again. So it's backing up the shipping paths. Once you do that, well, they figured out, okay, well, because the river is so low, we have to ship out less product. They ship out less product. I mean, it's already backed up. Now they're shipping out less product during harvest season, and they can't keep some of these things that they've harvested. They have to get out of the ports. And if they don't, it just goes to waste, which means the rest of the country, where's the foods that you were normally getting aren't coming. So what happens when you have a supply and demand? Cost goes up. So now cost is going up because of supply and demand, plus add into it artificial inflation. Now that's called the makings for hyperinflation. And then the only way you can acquire something is through a digital card. But even then, I mean, what you're either, I mean, the stratification, is that right? Strata, when you have different stratospheres of people, um, the whole people when they were telling you, trying to get rid of the middle class. Oh, there'll be no middle class. All that'll be left over is the this is the why I think this will happen. If they make everyone poor, then no one's going to be able to. Nothing will get done. Nothing. Nobody will have any money, and so these houses will. If they're going homeless, then these houses are going to be empty. So then you're just going to have people squatting for free, or the other option, which I think is probably what's going to occur. What's up, buddy? So the option, which I think is the more organic, like there's some sort of greater creator or Mother Earth or whatever. These natural occurrences, like a butterfly goes by and a flower grows, and you know, yeah, we can help it along with a little water. But if a plasma apocalypse happens, then that's the reset. That's the reset of society, where the people, the meek shall inherit the earth. And all of the movies you watched about where the world is basically a garbage dump, it'll become that way because what you'd call gravity, which isn't quite gravity, but a type of density within um, the different the different gases in this realm. If we blew the top off of this realm and it started swapping gases with another realm, it would be like letting a balloon open. It would be everything would just get it would suck things up into it like a vacuum cleaner. Now, if you want to call it gravity, go for it. But if it starts sucking things up into the sky, and then eventually that will get closed because the plasma will repair itself. I can't explain how that will occur. I don't know what that. I think I think basically once the two realms, because if the pressure in this realm builds up and it releases into that once it's depressurized. I think that's what we're looking at is really like a type of depressurization. Um, Once that levels out, then whatever's in the sky will fall to the earth, and so it will look like it will be Welcome to Thunderdome. It will be Mad Max. It'll be every movie that you've seen. Look at Wally. Look at all of these movies, and they'll become a. I mean, all of the movies. There's every movie has some really, especially in the last like 5 years, TV shows have really started showing you what's going to occur, and that's why I think some people in Hollywood are on the know, like they were inside of knowledge and they got into Hollywood not to be like fucking it's Hollywood, it's weird, dude, so it's crazy. No, they got in there to tell a story so you'd understand something. And I think there's a lot of that's been going on. So it's either a plasma apocalypse happens, or there is only the stratification of the ultra rich and the ultra poor. It would but it would see. But here's the trick. People talk about it in this way that it would somehow become a slave system. There's nothing left for humans to do if the plasma apocalypse doesn't happen. Humans don't need to exist. You understand this? There's no reason to keep them in a prison. There's no reason to keep them as slaves because there's nothing for them to do because robots are already taking over the entire thing. So if the robots take over the system, what's the use of a human? Go to any store. I've already told you about. Just look at it. Just would you look at it? Anywhere you go, how many workers do you see? Less and less. How many jobs are there? There's less. There might be a few different kinds of jobs right now, but in the future, if it goes this path, there'll be only service and entertainment. That's the only use for humans, and there's way too many for service jobs and entertainment. So there'd be no purpose in keeping us around. What would be the purpose? No, there's no purpose for prisons. It's pointless. It's just a waste of resources for them. They don't need to do anything. It's just so now again, let me requalify what I'm saying. This is why I believe it's definitely going to happen and very soon. I'm I'm really hoping it's this year because I think it will be fun. I have no I have no qualms with the plasma apocalypse. But here's why I think it's this year too. Every marking says it's this year, and it should be at the equinox. Could it fall next year, 24, perhaps? But the point is, why do all of these millionaires, billionaires have so many bunkers? Why do they always, why do they all have golf? Do you understand? Golf courses are built on top. Golf courses are built on top of ancient structures. They can just go down underneath the golf courses. Why do you think it's exclusive membership for these places that rich people go there? What do you think occurs? So, and what happens too? Like, okay, look at the obviousness of a mud flood, and that only happened how many years ago? I don't know what the dating is on it, but like how many years apart it occurs? But somewhere between 1820 and 1850. I think it happened. I think it happened all at once in 1820, but there was like a civilizations like when cities were empty and there was a relocation things going on. There was people that came from the underground, and then there was people that were above ground that had just moved to different places. That's what I think happened because there wasn't a lot of choices. You could have stayed in certain buildings that would have withstood. See, the mud flood would happen because, sir, it would cause because the density of things would change. It would cause water be everywhere. Loosen up. It would loosen up the ground. The ground would come up. But a lot of different things will occur, and so if people survive it, where do they go? They would survive it, and they would be like, oh, this city's dead. Let's go venture and find where life is. And also, here's one other thing, just to kind of drive this little point home that I have. Um, Go to most cities. Well, I mean, it's especially obvious here. I look at the tombstones in all of the cemeteries and look at the years of people. And there's a lot of glaring obviousness to things that I see, and it's about the year of things. It's like, so they didn't know how to bury people years before that, or their burial grounds just farther down. Are there tombs beneath that? But it's very clear that what years that the people are being, what years the people are being buried in. Water is way more important. Yeah, Chef Boyardee. Virginia, what's up? Well, I hear you on that. I mean, I, I understand that. Um, yeah, I talked about this in the form of Cairo, Cairo, Cairo in Egypt is a bustling city. There's a Cairo in America, and it's exactly the same city, except ours, it's a fraction of what apparently it used to be, and it's up the Mississippi River where it meets the Ohio. It's a meeting point of two rivers, same as in Cairo, Egypt. So if you understand that here is the ancient Egypt, America is the Americas are the ancient Egyptians for certain. I'm not even I'm about 98% on that one. About 98%. Why do you think? Why do you think? Again, I explained this the other day, but I don't know what it's here for. If we dig down deeper, there's pyramids in the Americas. If we go to Egypt, if we go to around those parts, we see Thailand, all this European, the Asian cultures. We see the pyramids above ground, which means their culture must have come before ours because we had to dig down to find how big the the Mayan pyramids were. We had to dig down even farther in the America, in northern America, to find that there actually pyramids here. And considering, if you look at the dollar bill and all of the lore, it's all Egyptology. Why? What's with the names? What's up with the names? That's what I've. because Egyptians didn't come here and name Cairo Cairo. It perhaps is the other way around. And as I've said a million times to everyone, your history that you think you know is all backwards. Your whole town got taken away. That's what I'm talking about. Jason, no, nice. Very interesting. I think we talked about this the other day that I used to have very long incisors, and one of the first times I went to the dentist, I was like, I don't know, it's like 16, 15, and I was like, can you just shave these bitches down? And I have a widow speak up here. It's pretty interesting. I was never initiated in any of these things. Mansfield, Massachusetts, NPCs and robots. Mm. The true vampires never drank blood; they fed off of psychic energy. Yeah, but then, I mean, in all sources of um, energy, it's the most subtle energies that are easily absorbed, like the sun, right, or plasma that's around us, the ether, the that, and then as we became less, as we became more dense, um, we started to consume liquid, and then went from the liquid to the gross matter, the meat, right? That we went from the air realms to the liquid realms to the meat realm, and I think that's part of the you know the whole that whole process. Even now, like the people that are supposedly vampires, they're not even they're not even powerful enough to go and get their own meat. You know what I'm saying? They're not even powerful enough to get their own blood. They have to have a company go and stick it into people and draw it and then centrifuge it and clean it and then give it to them. So and they have no idea how they could just consume their plasma. They could just drink their piss. Hello, Gary. Yeah, I mean, as long as they don't dry up. I mean, what is? Somebody sent me something the other day. Is it what is it? The Euphrates? That's drying up. That's some sort of biblical prophecy or whatever. Some other major river too, Mesopotamia or whatever. I don't remember which one it was, but all of these rivers are like at an like absurdly low. So something must be occurring. Something must be occurring, and I don't as much as the quote they unquote control and manipulate the weather and with technology. Not that we don't control and manipulate the weather uh, with our energies because we do, and that's what weathermen are to make you think something, so then you change the weather where you could just do it by yourself. I mean, Indian rain dances were for a reason, but um, so they can do all of this technological movement of how the skies work. They can make hurricanes, but I don't think they could drain the rivers. The only way they're doing that is to water crops, and even at that, yeah, and also the idea too is if you live at a river, you have a path. You know, you have a path somewhere, and every river has millions of little offshoots, and there's going to be water somewhere. You don't want to just walking around in the middle of nowhere looking for one little pond. That ain't gonna work. Follow the animals. They already know what they're doing. But Jason, most of the audience here, That's funny you say that. Most of the audience here are vampires. I told you this the other day. I think it was you that I told this. I was like, there was one picture of me as a child, and it was me dressed up for Halloween. I don't remember any other picture. This one was and it was in a place in my house that was out. It was just your parents put pictures out, and it was just like one picture of me, and it's them dressing me up as well. They said it was Eddie Munster, but it wasn't. It was a vampire. That but they put the teeth on me, even though I already had them. They painted my hair down even farther, painted my face white, put me the cape on, and all that. And it was just I was like, damn, do you know I'm a vampire? What are you doing? Oh, nice. Oh my god, got golf clubs out here and chipping range. Suntoke. You know what I mean. The pee isn't gonna do. The pee would help. It's the fact. It's the fact that they're pooping, and it's not the fact that they're pooping. It's the fact that they are pooping. You know what I'm saying? Because their diet is disgusting. Their diet is horrible, and then they shit in the field. Animals shit in the fields every day. Animals piss on trees, and those trees enjoy it. I know plenty of people that piss and make things grow, but human waste is the worst waste because we eat the shittiest diet. Animal waste. You know what they do with animal waste in India? They turn it into incense. You know what they do with animal waste if you work on a farm? That's part of the whole thing, man. But I hear what you're saying. It's because the human diet that they have is trash, which is the immigrant workers. They gave them the bad food, certainly. Yeah, squatting is economical. Yeah, well, here the difficulty is a lot of places it's easy to do, but it's also not a neighborhood that you want to fucking be in necessarily. I mean, there's some cool spots and whatever, and I mean, I can get together enough currency, to find me somewhere for an evening, couch surf. But I might be taking on a little bit of some work here. I don't know. I might do that. We'll see. I might have a little jerby jerbs. Which if I do, then I mean I would still probably do a roommate thing. I haven't done a roommate thing in years because yeah, fucking roommates usually suck. But for me, I spend so much time outside these days that to me it's no. I give two shits. Go inside, use the bathroom, change your clothes, take a nap. That's about it. That's what I use the indoors for, honestly. And that's for no other reason than even wintertime here. Sunsoak. You have entities flying around you can hitch rides on. That's funny you say that, Jason. You said vampirism is to get to the point where you automatically feed so that you survive the second death living in the astral realm. Yeah, last night I had very, very many vivid dreams. And you know what's funny? It was very funny. I had like, hi puppy. What's up, bro? I had a dozen extremely vivid dreams. I couldn't tell if I was in the astral, if it was just a lucid subconscious thing or what, but it felt pretty real. And three of them, I made a ton of money. Like I'm talking like paid, like a briefcase. Like I got like cars, briefcase. Next one, I went. I don't know what I did. I went to like a casino and just won like a bankroll of cash, and then I was just like feeding people. It's really interesting. It's like so like eating in the astral realm. currency. It's very interesting you say that because I was always saying like vampires were not the evil ones. You know, they just happen to live longer than them. Yeah, the chemtrails, smart meters. Yeah, yeah, being spread like bugs, dog. Well, Suntoke, let me. Okay, I hear you on the harvesting of humanity. The thing is, a real vampire would harvest off of shitty energy, and there is shitty energy and good energy. It's nothing good or bad, but you know the difference. If you like, you've eaten a good apple and a bad apple. You've eaten good pussy and bad pussy. It's just is. So like most of these people, they're not worth eating. But from the idea of harvesting, it would be like, all right, well, who do we get to add to the thing? Surely not these ones. They go back into the earth and they're just fodder. But we're gonna be living in communities and nature like the natives did. Um, Here's the thing: is if you say natives, I think for a little bit, but like no, I'm I'm well certain that the natives were well beyond what we're told. And obviously, when you look at the stories they're told, they were much bigger, much stronger, but then they dressed them like, oh, ooga booga, and hit you with an axe, and blah, 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 and we're evil. Blah. Now, I'm pretty sure they were living in these houses, the big ass houses with the big doors. Like in this city, uh, every ceiling is 10 foot high, some 12 foot high. The doors are big. I'm pretty certain the natives were living in these houses. Pretty certain they weren't out here, hacksaw Jim Duggan people's face. I mean, I'm sure they spent most of their time outside. Certainly, I think that's why there's so many congregation places. Like this is a beautiful big field where they congregated and had outdoor activities. But um, what's up, Christopher Lee? The map of America might be false. Looks totally different. Could be. I mean, considering all of the maps that we know about are pretty much totally false. Gary Baxter. I'm not waiting that long. I'll be asked out before then. No way. I'm not waiting to 2027, 20. That's too. No, there's too many. Even me saying this year and having weird prophetic dates that no one knows. Nobody knows the day. I mean, I just don't see it taking that long. there's there's too many there's too many substances people are taking right now that are already turning them into. Look at Kensington, Philadelphia. Look at the amount of fentanyl going around. Like this dude was just walking by me, definitely on some fentanyl or some shit that was anybody else would have probably got up and ran away. I mean, he just sitting there like being wild, slapping the trees, dancing around. Like I've seen him here hundreds of times, but like, he on something, and that was not what was going on even 10 years ago. So with the influx of that and looking at these kind of people that are in the mate, look, so Kensington is. Let me give you an idea. So you ever been to Baltimore? You know what Johns Hopkins University is? It's a university that studies the effects of drugs. The amount of times if you were to look up, you want to make some money, yeah, they'll give you $600 to be an inpatient to do a drug trial. And most people go, drug trial? I can just go hang out and do drugs and then I get put up or whatever, and they'll give me $600. They're in. They're like it's all over the place. It's like Baltimore in of itself, like most of the city is Johns Hopkins owned. With the ironic part of that is he was into homeopathy and herbology. Psychic weather manipulation is much stronger than DARPA or HARP. Um, I know that to be a fact. I don't know how or why. I told you the story, and I have no idea why I did it. It was just like it was just. I think it's because my friend didn't truly believe, you know. And so we're sitting there. It's noon. We're a couple cocktails in, having a nice little brunch Sunday, and we're in a bar with. Some people might have heard the story before, and it was mad intense. And we're talking to the bartender we know, and above us there's a bunch of skylights, and it is a beautiful, wow, July day, not a cloud in the sky. And I literally said, I don't remember what the point what I was making was, but I was like, the sky is about to go dark, and the rain is going to drip down upon me. And she laughed, and I was like, you don't think so? And she goes, oh, come on. And then she goes, don't do it. I was like, watch. In 2 minutes, all the skylights went black, and it started raining, and the skylight started leaking right onto me. And I was like, you see, what are the chances are 100% and 0%. It was like within 2 minutes, and the person behind the bar that knows me pretty well was like, "The fuck did you just do?" Oh, I'm very familiar with psychic manipulation. Yeah, I just don't see the need to do it that often. Okay, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I seen you sent me some nuggets the other day. What's up, Skull? How you doing? Yeah, Chris Lee. I already said hello a couple times. What up, Chris Lee? Oh, Suntook, you had a dream? Well, uh, you can say right now, I am homeless right now. Not houseless. I'm homeless in the sense that I don't have a home. You know, where it's like I would consider it like my thing. I've considered that. I've considered places, domiciles. I consider New Orleans my home in general. Like right now, I just have places to stay. But I don't think I'd argue over a girl. No, I don't think I'd argue over a girl. That's hilarious. Oh, I heard this really great story about why people wear snakeskin shoes and where the idea of snake oil salesmen come from. And it was from people that came in and poisoned the populace. Not necessarily, this is an allegory, not necessarily poison them with, you know, oils, snake oil. They themselves were actually snakes, and they came in and lied to everyone until the people became very aware and decided to cut their tongues out, cut them into pieces, and then take their flesh and turn them into shoes, and thereby having snakeskin shoes because we wear their bodies as shoes. Yeah, the war. Yeah, I get you on war is feeding, which is interesting. meth zombies, I would not fuck with. I know cats. I legit know people that if you met them, you'd be like, he's an interesting character. And I know for a fact that they smoke meth every day. And like they told me, like that's what I do. I'm like, what the fuck? They have all of their choppers. They're in good shape. They're a little cuckoo, but they're not ridiculous out of their mind cuckoo. But and I know other people that I'm just like, for real? Like I know you do drugs. Okay. That's what I do. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And then they're not even like the idea that you have of methods is not the same that I think most. Not you. Like for people, I don't think you know what drug you're talking about. Methods are incredibly strong. I just don't like uppers. Not that I would ever do drugs like that, but I could never like these people. I would never know. They're like, no, I'm high as shit right now. It's like, no shit. I'm like, you're having a reasonable conversation with me. Like, am I just always that high? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why I like downers. You know, that's maybe why I like alcohol, because a downer assists me in getting down to a level of humanity. It's kind of like whenever you drink piss and you're kind of on that high, you go, fuck, that's a lot. The fentanyl ones is different. The fentanyl ones are strange, son. So where are we at here? They're controlling entire populations with these chemicals. But yeah, I mean, I don't really care where they're produced. Like, I think that I've already said. I think the Chinese people. I think they're. Hello, squirrel. Did you just throw that at me? I think most of China is already robots. I think they're like hundreds of years ahead of us as a system, and that most of what you see, you ever watch videos of what they were doing in the 80s and 90s and how good their robots were? They were better than the robots supposedly that are being built today. They look like the robots in Westworld in the 80s. So and you look at these factories, and I've seen some of the why can they juggle play a perfect Mozart and do a kickflip on a skateboard, you know what I mean, all at the same time. That's just not practice, man. That's something else. It could it be a drug that they're taking? I don't. I've never noticed them take drugs. I don't know that they do. I would assume they're just all robots. But yes, I hear you on the maybe they have the robots making the chemicals to send to overseas. I don't know. But the fentanyl is weird. I knew I've known a couple people here that started taking that, and I'm like y'all gotta not do that. Can you like I'm not gonna base it on anything, but I seen a couple people that I knew do it, and I seen them afterwards. I'm like, can y'all not do that? I'm like, I like you guys. I don't want to scraping your ass off the like I don't you're don't do that. Get drunk, be loopy, smoke some weed, do whatever the fuck you do, be good. But that shit was that lean. It's like that super meth lean. That shit is no bueno, boy. Oh shit. Mic reset. Sorry. Is it reset? Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little behind. Did it reset now? Fuck. Fuck. How about this? Are we good now? Is we good now? You couldn't hear the past 5 minutes at all. That's too bad. Let me know. Yeah. Okay. Let me go back to what did I miss here? Okay. Well, I was talking about the the meth um, being meth is made being made to cause psychosis. Okay, see the people that this is what I was getting into. I guess you didn't hear this part. The people I know that legitimately tell me I would never have known, but they do meth on a regular basis, and I find them to be normal like people. You would not be able to tell for an instant. Like maybe they have a little bit of extra energy, and certainly I wouldn't want to fight either of them, even though they're not big people. Um, but the fentanyl is completely the zombie crunch mode. Yep, that's exactly it. Yeah, the fentanyl is part of the zombie apocalypse. I've seen the meth heads that run around scatterbrain. They'll clean a house for a whole house for $10 in 15 minutes and then suck your dick. I've seen those meth heads. Oh, oh, sun soap. So no, no, no. I didn't. I just didn't have the cash or capacity to do anything with my stuff. It was like rent went up. I was late on a bill, and a couple of my neighbors, because there's a lot of them, uh, complain about me because some people don't like me. I don't know why. And so they're like, "You gotta go." I was like, "What?" Like, yeah, you're late. You were on. They were like, "You were on month to month. You didn't pay. Somebody complained about you. You gotta go." I was like, "How long I got?" And I was like, "I can't scrape together enough to get. I'd have to get movers. I'd have to block shit up. I'd have to. So my options were pretty limited. So I was like, fucking here. Here's fucking all of my cool shit, which I'm still reeling over. I'm getting over that like depression anxiety thing, anxiety of like holy fuck, everything the homeless is sucky, and the anxiety and that depression part, and the anxiety of like like those two things, depression of losing the shit, like because I had some really cool awesome stuff. So what are you gonna do? But no, no, no. But I secured an indoor environment. I just didn't have enough currency to get the things I needed right then. You know, like I would have had to pay a moving truck, some rental space, people to help me. I didn't. I just didn't have it in my pocket. What are you gonna do? Oh, there again, puppy. What's up, bro? Oh, there's somebody there. Hi, baby. What are you doing? What's up, Sam? What's up, Mace? Sobriety is your altered state. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, the hunched over zombie thing. See, like I've never done either of those. I don't do hard drugs at all. So, I mean, I do like the idea of being having downers, having that kind of, whenever I used to get really good weed, it would, have you, you know, um, have you like, just into a couch, like mushrooms and whippets. Like I could see why somebody might like that, but I never done it. Oh, rat. Oxygen and beer, Canadian whiskey. If you breathe it right, you can get high on oxygen. Oh yeah. Oh no, I was in. I mean, what you know, you just. What are you gonna do? It's not even close to the same, but I'm trying to process it that way. It's like crying over spilled milk. It was a lot more than milk. It was like just an entirety of awesome stuff. Like you guys had only seen part of my apartment and my cool things, but what are you gonna do? I didn't really have a lot of, all of my good friends. They don't live in New Orleans anymore. The people I know, they couldn't help me move. The people I do know here, their acquaintances. They got normal jobs. I was like, uh, and most of the people, I don't know. It's a, what are you gonna do? Oh, I had a lot of eight. Yep, all gone. Every, I took a. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I would hope I hope made some money off the couch and the chair and the cool stuff. I mean, might as well have. Sure, they did. I guess it's a fair trade for throwing out piss because they don't even know what it does. I mean, I had some piss from like it was so alkaline. But that's kind of sucks. What are you gonna do though? Eh, like if they only knew, they're just gonna throw it in the garbage. That's what you're gonna do. They're gonna smell it. And they're gonna go, "What is this ammonia? This is chemical. Throw it out." Oh, dude. So people whoever cleaned out my shit, they're gonna find a lot of cool stuff. And most like there's like some drawings and stuff and some like all my wall hangings, they'll keep that. My couch, they'll sell it. My chair, they'll sell it. I put it on Craigslist to sell things, but it was like it wasn't quick enough to get back. People didn't get back to me quick enough to do anything about it. I was like, "Can you get it by this time?" And they're like, "Oh, I missed your email. What will you take this much?" So people, I wasn't be like, "I got to be out in a week." I didn't say that. I was like, "Hey, it'll be nice to get rid of it the next couple of days." And then what they were doing was they were on that hustle where they'd be like, "So you'll take 200 for it?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it's worth like 900. Stop doing that. Don't do that. Don't under." I was like, then I was like, I'd rather just throw it out. I'm not gonna give you my shit. I'm not gonna let you do that. Throw it in the garbage can. Whatever, whatever. Yeah, I'm trying not to meditate on that right now. So if we could scatter from that. Oh, so if anybody wants to I know that's the skull. That's the thing is, yeah, but they're not going to know what it's good for. They're going to have no idea. Like that's worth gold. They're gonna find books in there worth thousands of dollars, and they won't know that. They won't know the value of. There's three books in there worth well over $1,000. It's like you're not even going to know anything to do with that. But they were too big to carry. I was like, I didn't have anywhere to go. Ah, dude, Gary, you didn't have to do that, man. Gary, I will happily send that back to you. I told you I got a couple dollars right now. I got I secured a place for a little bit here. I had a friend help me out, so I got a place for a little bit. I got a couple dollars, and if you need it, man, don't no. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. If I was literally on the street, I would take you up on that. But if you need that, I'll send it right back. No questions asked, man. Don't- okay, okay, I won't. But thank you. If anybody else wants to, send Gary some money, or you can send me money. Pick one. It's right there. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, and there's some. If you ever need a one-on-one help or something, like yeah, get the gutter snipe to help you out. He knows things, but doesn't know how to keep a house or a girlfriend. That's funny. In good humor. Hmm. Should I? How many minutes we got here? Hour. Did I bring? Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me see if I brought my charger. Have I been out of body receiving nine? Well, I'm trying to decipher whether I should go to the river, just hang out because it's so nice outside. Uh, um, I washed my hair and I needed to comb out a knot that I had. I didn't bring my speaker, which is dumb on my part. I just want to make sure I get my charger. Oh, got some iced tea. Cool. Look at that. We're getting things done today. Got some iced tea. Here, give me 1 second and have some music. Okay, I'm almost back. I got this sweet tea, and it's so icky sweet. I gotta mix it with water. And the most troubling thing is the music. I obviously lost both of my music machines, and it's not necessarily that they were worth a lot of money because I could reobtain them for under a grand. It's the fact of how many hours I had invested into them. It is a little bit disconcerting to me. Hey, and also Skull, you got to help me on this. I've been out of body, receiving nine. It's like okay, I completed a cycle or something. What you say? Hopefully it was $9 million. It was Mercury retrograde too. Yep, yep. Why do that? So it was like it was the full moon. I had the most wonderful night. It's like that. It's supposed to be some powerful full moon stuff, right? And then Mercury retrograde was like kicking in. I was like, here, take this. I was like, oh, thanks. Like I thought I was Mercury. Why you gotta do that? Well, interesting. My life path is nine too. So what should I do, y'all? Should I just call this a show? Because I think I'm spent on this. I don't feel like being inside, but I think if I stay outside, I would like to have my speaker. It opposed to Saturn. I don't know. I forget where Saturn is on my chart. It's really weird. It's like sometimes the full moon affects me quality, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes Mercury retrograde assists me, and sometimes it doesn't. I don't. I mean, they both multiply something. Well, Sunchoke, hopefully you're warm. You know? Hmm. Well, come to south. Well, I mean, that's funny you said. Yeah, I might be headed to Florida, but you need to panhandle. Isn't that what Florida's called, the panhandle? I don't know Florida like that. Yeah. All right, guys. Let me call this a show because I want to save some battery and go to the river. Maybe I'll hang out with you guys at the river, depending on who's out tonight. What kind of weirdos go? Oops. See if I can say hello and help somebody out. I don't know. Oh no, not fun. Yeah, but shoot it. Stay well. Remember the three rules in life. What were they again? Oh yeah, that's right. Be yourself because everybody else is already taken. Help out when you can. If it's me, that's the best. If it's somebody else, go do that too. And yeah, love, piss, and grits. You know what I'm saying? And stay goofy. I'll try to talk to you later. Maybe tonight even. I don't know. We'll see where my motivation just wasn't here to talk, obviously, for the last little bit. So I'm gonna go find some music and enjoy the. Yeah, yeah. Stay well, y'all. See you soon.